the girl in Gansu never imagined. The male protagonist in his writing is actually a top-notch green tea, even at the expense of spreading rumors that he is a real man. The angry girl breathes fragrance. Just now, the male protagonist who pretended to be sick collapsed into Jingtai Palace. He was too weak to walk. The coughing sound is even more continuous. Empress Dowager Su saw this and quickly removed the luggage of the two, and asked him about his physical condition with concern. Pose the warehouse as if you can see through life and death. It means that he can live for 1 day and 11 days. Yi Xiaoyu was speechless. This supreme emperor keeps the male protagonist. It is clear that his short-lived appearance is not a law. At the same time, you can show your kindness. If the supreme emperor knew that he was a scheming pump, I'm afraid I won't let him leave the palace alive. So Yi Xiaoyu is ready to kill with a borrowed knife. Just get rid of the male protagonist. You can return to the real world. Leafy Fish, immersed in illusion, didn't notice at all. Rikura is staring at his every move with the corner of his eye. At this time, Ben also changed his tone with the Empress Dowager. I heard, yesterday, Fang Yi accidentally fell into the water. How do the people in your palace serve you? Kneeling on the ground with a plop, a snot, and a tear crying his wrong. It's not right to keep the two people in place as concubines. The day before yesterday, the concubine wanted to send the medicine to the study and ask the prince to take it, but accidentally bumped into an adult from Taihua Pavilion. Out of the prince's study, the concubine doesn't know why the prince is angry. Also lost his temper. The concubine was terrified. I couldn't think of it for a while, so I jumped into the river, thinking of disappearing. It will no longer make the prince unwilling. Give up. He used his spare light to skim towards the angry male protagonist. Leaf Fish, remember, the current plot is the male protagonist secretly colluded with the entire court, even intersected with some very famous people. Bad intentions in dealing with courtiers. This is a taboo against the Supreme Emperor. Empress Dowager Zu's face gradually darkened. Li Kang is really good at communication. This time it's only been a year. I have a relationship with the adults of Taihua Pavilion. Just when Yi Xiaoyu thought he could borrow the hand of the Empress Dowager when exposing the male protagonist, the male protagonist suddenly knelt down. The younger Empress Dowager came here this time to report this matter. In the questioning eyes of the Empress Dowager, pose the warehouse in a bitter and affectionate manner. It means that your body is getting worse. Time is running out. No hope of heirs. Fang Yi is young. How can you spend time with short-lived people? Yi Xiaoyu looked confused. What is this guy up to? Unexpectedly, the male protagonist has turned black. Show that you are not only weak. I'm afraid it's a problem to have an heir. Even Fang Yi's hospitality last night, also powerless. It's all my fault for leaving the warehouse. Negative of Fang Yi's expectations. Legend has it that the heroine Su Fang Yi's Yi Xiaoyu. Beers outer Jiao and linen. This old six is really shameless. Even this can be made up. Unexpectedly, the man suddenly took out the paper prepared in advance. Eyes full of remorse. It's all the fault of leaving the warehouse. Although a husband can be married for many days. Failed to respond to Fang Yi's hospitality. This is why I invited the words of Taihua Pavilion to be the middleman. Wrote this abandonment letter. It's already because of Xiang Chen. Everything has nothing to do with Fang Yi. It's a negative party. The girl is willing to pay 10 times the dowry to send the girl home. Yi Xiaoyu, who heard Shu Shu, was instantly stunned. Empress Dowager Su Wenyan can't hang up anymore. You know, this marriage was arranged by him. At this time, wasn't my brother just hitting him in the face when he came to suspend the book? Li Kang, you are still young. Why is that? Li Kang coughed violently. Then there was a look of helplessness. Li Kang is useless. I let down the love and pity of the Empress Dowager. Leafy Fish are so angry that they spit fragrance at their mouths. This old six actually learned to hide and foul himself. And in his novel setting, the metaphor in it is an NPC with a big mouth. It is estimated that this will be full of people in the capital. I don't know if Prince Su can't do it. No. He's going to divorce his wife. But you deliberately took advantage of me last night. I rely on this old six too much. Empress Dowager Su, who was successfully fooled, spoke slowly. So, it was Fang Yi who complained that his aunt betrothed you to King Su. This is in front of the people in the capital. Perform this death-seeking drama. You seek death and life. Is this dissatisfaction with the prince? Still dissatisfied with this palace? And the little fish went numb in an instant. I guess it will, no matter what he says, will be considered by the old woman, is an excuse for dissatisfaction with marriage. Here's the thing. I can't let the male protagonist succeed now. If you go back to the Su family, then it will be difficult for him to have another chance to solve the male protagonist. Accompanied by a ding bell, the carriage has left the palace. Leafy fish that was placed together, hidden in the corner with lingering fear. Fortunately, this Empress Dowager Su is for the face of the Su family. He didn't let Zhongli Kong really divorce himself. But the plot goes. Is it different from what you wrote? Although Zhongli Kong in his pen hates Su Fangyi, but I still care about Empress Dowager Su. Dare not do excessive things. It is also a different attitude towards Su Fangyi. But now Empress Dowager Su is angry with herself, without her obvious support. Now also this Black Lotus. Flower is clearly offended. I'm afraid the days after this will be difficult. At this time, although Zhongli Kong seemed to have nothing to do on the surface, in fact, you can see everything. According to the situation just now, this woman should be just randomly found by the Su family. It's just a clan daughter for the position of Princess Su in the battle song, judging from his form and temperament these days. If he is dissatisfied with the marriage, I will never choose to jump into the river to commit suicide. But like just now, trying to frame herself in front of Empress Dowager Su, this is like what he would use. Means Yi Xiaoyu is stared at and hairy all over. Is this guy thinking about how to deal with me? Can't figure it out? That's why he jumped into the river and committed suicide. And that story about coming to the palace. Obviously, there's someone guarding outside the study. It's impossible for anyone to get close to there. Then how did he know? Yi Xiaoyu was stared at by this man-eating gaze. So I quickly recalled the plot to find a solution. Original text. After Empress Dowager Su asked about the man's illness, although nothing was found. But the emperor was naturally suspicious. On the grounds of concern, he sent the imperial physician to consult the king. And the male protagonist can only eat one kind of poison. Cover up the past by disrupting sales. Thinking of me, Yi Xiaoyu instantly had an idea. A rival Kang was speechless when he saw his smirk. This expression. I'm afraid I'll think of some rules that will block me. Yi Xiaoyu, returning to the palace, stealthily came to the male protagonist's residence. However, something sad happened.